Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome to the first of my ArcheAge guides sort of video sort of thing, where we're going to be taking a look at the Blue Salt Brotherhood quest, because this is kind of one of the really key early on quests that you need to do. It gives you access to your first 8x8 farm, it gives you some tax certificates, gives you lots of really kind of useful stuff. So you're kind of going to naturally come across this along the storyline, because you'll ultimately get brought to Hassa something, however you pronounce the name. I'll show you on the map in a minute. With the main quest storyline when you're around about level 30, which is the requirements for this quest. So then once you do that, all you need to do is come over, find Tasha. Over here you can actually see on the map where I am at the moment. Hopefully that kind of highlights it. So you'll get brought here with the main quest, whichever continent you're on, whether you're east or west, it doesn't really matter. You'll get brought here naturally in your storyline. So it's a great time to start it, because there aren't really too much for you to deal with. It's kind of a mostly just a travelling based quest, just doing a little bit of crafting on the way. So it's a great introductory quest, and it gives you some really great rewards. So as I say, get started, just talk to Tasha. She'll give you a little bit of a background information, and she'll give you your first quest, which is just like a 200 meter trip up the road to go and talk to somebody else. You can see it 141 meters, really not even very far, to go and speak to Herodon. A lot of this quest is just going to be travelling. There's a few little bits that may catch you out, but generally not a lot, and we'll cover them in this video. Obviously, once you've got it selected, if you've done it right, it will be called the Blue Salt Brotherhood quest, and you'll know you need to be level 30. That kind of gives you all the information you need. So let's carry on to the next stage. So once you've done your little bit of walking around for a couple of times, done a few of the basic early stuff, you'll come to this point where you have to go and speak to Kendrick to get a rice seed. Now, when you actually talk to him and complete the quest, and you do complete the quest, you would assume you would get that rice seed, but actually no. You'll actually find you still don't have to, so you have to start the conversation with him again before you go to Caretaker Gibson. If you don't speak to him again now and manually buy the rice seed from the shop, like you'll just see in a minute, then you'll find you'll get to Caretaker Gibson and you won't be able to hand in the quest. It's really important, keep an eye on that quest log and actually make sure you buy the seed manually. You don't get it from just doing the quest like you do with a lot of the other stuff. So a little bit of a catch-up one there, and then you're free to go off and see Caretaker Gibson. So, we've just arrived now at Caretaker Gibbons. It's like a 400-500 meter walk, not too far. Just chat to him and you can complete the first bit of the quest, and you will start, and he'll give you some tasks of planting a scarecrow and some rice around the back in his fields. And as a reward, you'll actually get some harvested rice. So, all you need to do here is just head around the back. You can basically plant the scarecrow anywhere within this sort of wheat area. Just right click on it and you'll see that it just gets planted down dead easy. See, it just pops up there. And then, of course, you just need to plant a piece of rice. Right-click it to select it, and you can basically left-click to place it anywhere, except you can't place it on top of an existing piece of rice, because that's already another player object. It's blocking the way. Interestingly, you'll kind of note that you actually own that piece of rice. This is a public farm, and you'll see that there are other owners of other bits of rice where other players have been doing this quest as well. It's kind of been planted by different people. Once you've got that down, all you need to do, pop back around the front, talk to Caretaker Gibbons again to complete this part, and then we are on heading towards the brewery. So, once you had finished with Caretaker Gibbons, you'd have gone and done a little bit of stuff over at the brewery, some real basic stuff, mostly just carrying and travelling, and ultimately you'll end up down here in Sun's End, where you have to deliver some of the beer that you made at the brewery. You have to go and find and speak to Lunia, who's like the alchemist for the town. And you'll see that effectively you have to deliver 10 of these Mage's Vapours. And again, like the rice one that we talked about earlier, you complete it, but it doesn't actually give you the Vapours, so you then have to go back to her again and go back to the shop, where you then actually have to buy manually 10 of these Mage's Vapours, which is what I do here, just buy 10. Costs you 60 gold, but you're going to get paid 60 silver, sorry, but you're going to get paid 1 gold at the end of this, so you'll still make a 40 silver profit, so don't worry about the cost of it. So you just need to head back over to the community centre manager, and you can get this stuff handed in, and there you go, there's your payment. You get a decent payout for that. And after that, you're going to get set a task of gathering some of this graveyard lavender. It's only at the end of the town. It's really not very far away. So, and considering we're getting close to the end of this quest line to get to our 8x8 farm, we'll just do this one actually with it here now. So let's head up to the graveyard, and you'll find it's quite easy to gather this lavender without actually having to deal with any of the monsters or anything like that. If you don't really want to engage them in combat, you can see I picked this tree here because there's all the 3 lavenders here that you need to gather. See, I've got a slightly sticky W key on my keyboard on my laptop, so as you can see I'm struggling slightly to get stopped there as I'm getting stuck going forwards. And there we go, last piece, and then that's the 3 we need, and then we just got to go straight back to that other guy again. Same guy that we started with, the community centre manager. So it's really not far back into town. kind of easy for us to get. And that's going to earn us 100 lavender, which obviously we can use in some of the alchemy stuff later on, because this Blue Salt Brotherhood questline does continue much after this. It's going to get stuck into some of the alchemy stuff, and eventually it leads on to things like building a farm cart and stuff like that. But I just wanted to cover the 8x8 farm in this video because this is the easiest bit of the quest, and it's such a good starting piece for new players. So, after you talk to him, you get sent down to the public farm, which is literally just up behind him. And you'll see you have to kill a couple of these grubs. These little locust grub things here. Actually misclick and accidentally click on the public farm sign. But we just hop round and kill the rest of these guys off. Easy to do. I don't know what you're hitting them with. It looks like a hammer, rather cruel on the poor locust grubs. And then after that, just go and speak to the public farm manager. Done. Bish, bash, bosh. And you'll see for completing this quest, you're going to get 4 items. And this is the final quest to get to your 8x8 farm. Your Scarecrow garden design, that is your 8x8 farm. It will give you a small patch, which will allow you, once placed down, to plant pretty much anything you want, from trees to rice to mushrooms, to sort of anything in between, to fruit trees. And then you get the mushrooms, a bit of lumber, and you also get 15 bound tax certificates, which are really kind of useful as well. So, complete that. Now you've got to get a mushroom spores. It doesn't actually point to it until you get close enough, but if you look over it, it's this woman, the seed and sapling merchant, Verlaine, with a little blue Christian mark above her head. So you need to go and speak to her. Again, I'm always ended up interacting with the people, but you could just press G to head straight to the shop, to be fair. But you complete the conversation, and then you just press F again to open the shop. And then you've got to try and find the mushroom seeds, so it's a bit of a hunting game at the start. But there it is, look, mushroom spore. So you need is one of them. Only need to buy one, don't need any more. I'm actually running out of bag space already, look. Actually, I'm actually full. That was a spot of luck. I had 1 spot left just for that mushroom. And then all you need to do is head back over to the public farm and plant your mushroom seed. Looks like someone's been planting lots of trees here by the looks of it. I just headed somewhere in the middle. Right click on anything, and then you can pretty much place it anywhere again. Same as the rice, obviously bar being right on top of another thing. And there you go. Don't have to water it, don't have to do anything fancy, don't have to look after it. And now you just need to head back to the community centre manager, and that is going to be your 8x8 farm. And you can then go and place that, and you even have the tax certificates to put that down. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. I just kind of wanted to create this because it's such an important quest. And a lot of the guides that are currently on YouTube are kind of more advanced players, and there weren't that many new players like me in the game. So I thought it would be kind of useful to do a bit of an overview of what this stuff's like. But anyway, hopefully it was useful. If it was, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for a absolute load more ArcheAge content, and I shall see you guys all on the next video.